Welcome into Sport Talk with D. Watt. We're back. We had a good episode last week, and we're here to do it again. So we'll jump on into it. Same type of deal as last time. It's a slight different layout, but we're going to talk about this past weekend. NFL, college football. We got some NASCAR talk. A lot of different talk going on, and I want to thank y'all for watching last week. Something new I'm doing. And I'm going to try to do 2 shows a week. I'm going to try to do one Sunday night and maybe again on Thursday night. So I'll go and jump on into it. This past weekend, I was in Crossville with my in-laws. Went up there and did some walking and hiking and whatnot. Had a good time. Had some great food. But usually each time I go up there, the food's always really good. So that always that works out great. Watched a lot of football, watched a lot of dirt racing, watched some of the NASCAR on Saturday, some baseball Friday night, watched some of that Miami game. I'll get into that here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about some guests we may have on the show. I've talked to a few people, and I feel like we're going to have some guests on here very soon. Give some people to give some insights and give their thoughts. So that's kind of the plan for the coming up. So let's go on into news of the weekend. So the baseball coach at Tennessee there's been some rumors that he's heading to the Giants to coach in the MLB. So nothing official yet. Like I said, this is just a rumor. And it sounded like it's close to being official. As a fan, like he's came into Tennessee. I feel like he turned the program around, led him to Omaha. They won it all, not too long ago. So, you gotta be glad for what he did. And if he is gone, then he was a good coach, and let him go make some money in the MLB. And I think he'll be I think he'll be good in the pros. I think he'll fit that well. I think he'll fit well out west with that, and hope the best for him. Now this piece I'm about to talk about came in from a guy at my job. He let me know about this. So here in Chattanooga, the first park played in by the Lookouts is getting torn down, and Eagle Stadium is going to be gone. I went to the zoo a few months back or so, and I went over that way, and it's not looking good over there. Hadn't been used much. They filmed a movie in there 10 years ago or so, and just that day I drove over there, it just doesn't look good. The roof's got holes, and there's a lot of bushes overgrown and weeds there here and there. So, I'm okay with it being gone. I guess it'd be cool they could leave some of the history, leave a sign, or leave something about it. Or I'm the biggest fan of, if they are going to take it away, then maybe have some of these new buildings that's coming in, name them after some players that played there. Babe Ruth, all these guys that played there. Have something named after them. That's my big take on that. Is if you're going to tear it down, leave some history. I like history. I care a lot about the history of stuff, and I hate to see it just be gone. College game day. They announced this maybe yesterday or today. College game day is heading to Vanderbilt this coming up weekend. So a talk show on ESPN comes on at 9 o'clock, goes to 12, something like that. And I thought it was really cool years ago, but I was watching it last week, and it just kind of gets out of control with how they chit-chat for a long time. And I liked probably from hour 11 to 12. I feel that's a pretty good segment of the show when they really show some of the teams warming up and whatnot. That's probably what I like the most about that. But that's kind of cool to see Vandy get a little love. I like to see these little small teams get a little attention. You know what I'm saying? Like Vandy and Duke and some of these smaller schools that don't always get the praise they deserve. Give them a little bit of a shot there. Give them a little TV time. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to get on into the college football segment. Georgia Tech versus Duke. Tech was ranked number 11th, I believe, going into the weekend, something like that, 12th, something like that. So they didn't start off good. They were playing on the road, 12 o'clock start, ESPN. They actually had a pretty good crowd. It was a nice day, nice sunny day there at Duke. And, I felt like to watch that game on TV. I thought it was a good crowd. One thing I want to talk about on this show a little bit is what these teams wear. With the helmet, the jerseys. Duke had a good-looking jersey, I feel like, a couple years ago. It's like, just give me a blue jersey, white pants, and a white helmet. I think it looks really good. Now they've gone away with that and gone more into like a lot of black. And black and blue for me just isn't in for me. But it is what it is on that. But I like to just see what these teams wear. If it's each week, some teams are really into gimmicks. And I guess, they get fans to buy the stuff. So at the end of the day, here in college sports, it's about the money. And if they can get these guys to get the fans to buy the stuff, then that's what they're going to do. So it was a slow start for Georgia Tech. As a fan, it wasn't the best of start. And I was talking, about that game to my dad, and during the game, and it was a slow start. But Tech had a long fumble for a touchdown there, so that really helped a lot. 7-0 for the first time since 1966. So that's impressive. I like that. I like to see my team back. This is the year that they got a good schedule. They got the good coach. They got the good players. Now they just got to put it all together. And hey, I believe in them. It's all going to come down to the Georgia game, and I'm really looking forward to that game. So basically, hoping they're 11-0 going into that Thanksgiving weekend against the Georgia Bulldogs. So that'll all be a big game. But Tech got the win 27-18. All in all, I like what I saw. Like I said, that wasn't a good start, but it don't matter how you start, it's how you finish. So I like it. I'll take it. And we will move on to the next one, which is Syracuse. So that'll be a unique matchup there. It's a home, I believe. So that'll be one to watch. That won't be on the picks for this weekend, but it's one to watch for sure. All right, so Tennessee and Alabama. Alabama at home, man, that place was rocking. It was a 7:30 start. Just Tennessee's, they were a good team. I don't say they're a great team. They're a solid team, and I picked Alabama to win the game. But at the end of the day, they did. But I like the Tennessee uniforms. They're all white, and I like the black touch with like the gloves and the sleeves. They had the black on the touch for what they wore as the gloves and whatnot. So that was cool. I like that. That's the first time maybe I've seen that in a while. I like to watch what these teams wear. So that was a cool touch. I saw that online. Maybe it was Friday or Saturday I saw that. So that was cool. Big play of the game was the pick six at halftime for Alabama. So Tennessee's driving, playing good football, and it was at 4th and goal, I think, and they did a fake handoff, and they threw it out. And the Alabama guy stepped in front, and he took it, 98 yards, 99 yards, something like that, 95 yards to the house, and all the coordinator in the press box and all the fans were just couldn't believe it. And I feel like in my take on that just really affected the game a lot for Tennessee. And they got the ball first, second half, and scored a touchdown. So that kind of offset, but it was just going to be too little too late. I feel like just, it is what it is on that. It's unfortunate. I was hoping Tennessee would stay strong there and compete. And I watched most of it in Crossville. Just didn't work out. So that's unfortunate. So we dropped to 2 losses now, and we head to Kentucky next Saturday night. I think it's a 7:45 start. So we got a night game in Kentucky. Kentucky lost to Texas in overtime. So Texas had some bad clock management there. They threw the ball, and then he went out of bounds, and Kentucky went down and kicked the game-tying field goal, went to overtime. Kentucky went forward on the goal line, got denied. Texas kicks the field goal to win. So that's who Tennessee has next week, which we'll talk about that this weekend. Oh, cigar smoke. Let's talk about the cigar smoke. So when Tennessee won a few years back, they rushed the field and they were smoking cigars, and it's great. When you win, you can do that kind of thing. You can win and smoke the cigar, and it was kind of unique to see on the broadcast all the smoke up in the air. So I thought that was unique. I thought ESPN, ABC did a really good job of calling that game. I like seeing all the cigar smoke. As a fan, I don't want to see them doing that because I want Tennessee to win. But yeah, when you win, you can do what you want to do. So they're gonna do their cigars, and they're gonna celebrate, and they're gonna win, and Alabama moves on. So we'll see. I think Alabama. My take on Alabama is they're good. They can be beat, yes, but they're tough to win at home. Tough to get beat at home. So when they're at home, there's a good chance to winning. But this weekend, there was quite a few top 11 teams that got beat. A lot of guys in top 10 to top 25 teams got beat. So number 2, Miami, went down on Friday night, which we'll get that here in a little bit. Miami goes down, ranked number 2. Number 5, Ole Miss, gets beat by Georgia, which we'll get into that here in a minute. Texas Tech, number 7, they got beat. So they got knocked out. LSU lost to Vanderbilt, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. I believe that was their first loss to Vandy since 1990. And I like to see Vanderbilt, coming on strong and not just these games and they get blown out. Some of these, in the past years ago, but last year they beat Alabama at home. This year they beat LSU at home. So I'm sure LSU did not appreciate getting beat by Vanderbilt. But the quarterback's good. Pavia, he's a Heisman person, I guess some would call it. He had the pose. He was out there, scored a touchdown, and he struck the pose. So that's the new thing. I don't care for it. But I'd rather these guys be humble about it. And if you're going to win, don't be doing all that. But hey, it's my show, and I can say what I want to say about that. So I don't care for that. Tennessee, ranked number 11, they got beat. So Georgia Tech was 12th, and now they're ranked number 7th. So we're moving on up. I'm proud. I'm fired up for the season. We're going to hopefully keep moving up, keep winning, and hopefully be in the top 5. That's my goal as a fan, to see Georgia Tech top 5 to top 3, and then it's all going to come down. And even if we do at this point, you drop one, it's really okay. I'd rather just save a drop for later on. I don't want to see it drop to Syracuse or Pittsburgh. I'd rather save that loss. I don't want to lose any of them. I want to beat Georgia in a bad way Thanksgiving weekend. I'm sure Dad wants the same. So we're hoping for the best for that. But yeah, so now we'll get into the recap of Georgia and Ole Miss. So this was a shootout. It seemed like both teams were scoring touchdowns throughout the game. I like the Ole Miss. I'm a fan of Ole Miss. I like Lane Kiffin. I'm a big Lane Kiffin. I know a lot of people maybe don't care for him. I know he coached at Tennessee for a year and got out. So I like him. He's a good coach, and I like because he'll call a play and he'll usually touchdown. Like he just knows. He just knows it's gonna be a touchdown, and then almost always it's a touchdown. So it's cool to see him on the sideline, put his hands up in the air, and then he'll take off to the end zone and celebrate. So he gets a lot of attention from his online social media stuff and probably what he says in the media. But I'm on the Lane train, and he's doing good things, and that's really all that matters. They took a loss, but I think as long as they don't drop any more, they'll be in the playoffs. And I like their blue top and the blue jersey. Really looked good. So I'm a fan of the uniforms that they wear. Georgia tried this somehow. They tried to get their stadium striped in some kind of certain way, and I saw some of it online. But I don't think it worked too great. But that's just my opinion. So they tried something different with the fans there. But Georgia just knows how to win, and it's I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it. Until that clock is 0-0-0, it's not over with them. And they stuck around all game. They scored their touchdowns. And Ole Miss, when Ole Miss had to punt in the fourth quarter, I said, "That's it. If you're not going to score a touchdown, then you can't stop them, then you're going to fall behind." And they just fell behind. And at the end of the day, you can't fall behind. And in that kind of shootout, but it was a good atmosphere, and Georgia was probably better at the end of the day. I picked Ole Miss in the picks, and it didn't work out. But at the end of the day, Georgia moves on. They got a few more games coming up, I'm sure, with some teams that may be halfway decent. But hey, that's part of it, and they move on. So now we will get into, let's talk about some NFL. Let's talk about the Titans. They played today at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock start against the Patriots. The coach, he was a coach at the Titans, and they fired him. And now he's with the Patriots. So that was his first game back in Nashville, I believe. So I thought he was a good coach, and they almost made it to the Super Bowl that one year, 2021, something like that. So they made some good runs in the playoffs for a couple years, but then I get it. Just the wheels fell off, and they wanted to make a change. So then they hired the new coach, and the new coach lasted like 1 year and 4 games, something like that. So he didn't last. So now they're starting to clean the house in the Titans, which is fine. Get the coaches out, get some new ones in. If that's what it takes to get these players to perform, then that's what's going to have to happen. I watched most of this game here before the race came on. I thought the first half the Titans played good football. They really played good. I thought sometimes when you fire the coach, then I feel like in these pro sports, these players really play better. They put more effort. It's unfortunate that players kind of give up on the coach. It seems to happen, but it is what it is on that. That's part of it. I didn't care for the Titans uniform. I don't really care for that light blue. I like their dark blue. Like dark blue helmet, dark blue jersey, white pants would look good. And sometimes they wear the all blue, which is a lot of blue. But the Patriots scored a touchdown right before halftime. I feel like that was just another changing moment in the game. I feel like in any sport, whether it's college ball or whether it's NFL, anytime you can get a score before the half, it's key. And Patriots pulled away in the second half, and they won. Patriots won 31-13. Also, one other thing about these teams and these stadiums, I like the grass a lot better than turf. I'm definitely a grass field man. I think on TV they look better, and at a game they look better. When I was at the Tech game last week, they got the turf now, and I like the grass. I hope they bring it back. And the Titans had turf, but it makes sense. I get it. If you play other events in that stadium, then it's easier on the maintenance. So I get it on that. All right, let's jump on into NASCAR. Chase Briscoe was a playoff driver, and he is going to the championship for a Phoenix. I just finished the race. It just finished up. I was watching it with my wife upstairs. Pretty good race. I mean, I'll talk about it tomorrow on Caution Flag Contemplation Podcast. If you want a good NASCAR Dirt Racing podcast, check it out. Caution Flag Contemplation. I'm on the show. I'm a co-host on the show with Casper. So we'll dig in deep on the race at Talladega. We'll talk about some other stuff, Eldora. For all my dirt fans out there, I know I got a couple. Devin Moran wins the point championship for Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at Eldora. So I picked him to win the points, and I picked Bobby Pierce to win the race at Eldora. And hey, that's what happens. I like it when I get my picks right. But back to NASCAR, it was a pretty good race. One thing that was unique on the broadcast, I'm not sure if y'all caught it, but they were showing a lot of fan reaction. which was pretty unique. When these cars wreck, they usually, and at Talladega, they're going to hit the wall pretty hard. So it was unique that they were showing some of the fan reactions, and to see these fans, which I mean, I get it. I love NASCAR, and I go to races and whatnot, but just the fan reaction, I feel like they could wait till make sure these drivers are okay before they show a fan that's thinking something's funny about hitting the wall, going 200-something miles an hour. I saw that late in the race. So that's just the first time I've seen that. Crowd-wise, really wasn't the best crowd for Talladega. I wasn't there, but I've seen better. But I like Talladega as a track. It's cool. It's cool. It's fast. And if you're there, they're gone for a while, and they finally come back around. But it's good to watch on TV for sure. But even if you're there, it's got a good feel to it. All right, let's get into some MLB baseball playoffs. So the Dodgers, they sweep the Brewers 4-0. And Friday night, this game was on 2nd, I believe. So the Dodgers sweep the Brewers, and they're going to the World Series again. They went last year, and they won it all. So the question might be is, will they win again? I think they got a real good chance. They got a good team. They just all around, I feel like they've got it figured out. They get these players through trades and whatnot. The first baseman, Freeman. I'm a big Braves fan, and looking back, we hate to see him go, but man, he's winning. He's winning right now. He's on a winning team, and he's going to the World Series again. So happy for him. That looking back, he probably won't ever say it, but he's out of the Braves. He's gone from the Braves, and the Braves were struggling, and they fired their coach. Their manager, so they're still looking for somebody. So I ain't heard much out of that, or if they were hired, I haven't heard. So I'll check on that. But so Dodgers to the World Series, and now the Mariners, man, they hit a big grand slam there. They're mid in that game. So the Mariners won 6-2, and I feel like the Mariners are going to be the tough team to beat. I feel like if I had to make a pick on this, I'm hoping the Mariners win. You don't hear much out of the Mariners. I feel like they're getting better, and so to see them go all the way would be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to the World Series. I watch a good amount of baseball, and once you get through this, and then you go to the World Series, that's when it gets good as a fan. But I guess I'll have to make a pick on that come time for the World Series. But we'll jump back to Friday night. So that game was on. Those were on Friday night. So I was watching that, and then I was watching Miami and Louisville. So Miami ranked number 2 at home. That's one team you don't really see a lot home field advantage. They got a good fan base, but it's not an on-campus football stadium. They share it with the Dolphins. So I feel like they don't, when it comes to home field advantage, maybe they don't really have it. And that's just kind of part of it. They're ranked always they've really done well now that these players are getting paid millions of dollars. I feel like they really have good donors and good supporters, and they pay their players well. And they usually start off, this is pretty common that we see out of Miami, they start off really strong, and then some years they'll kind of fade off a little bit. So I'm curious if they fade to a couple of losses, or are they going to bounce back and just have one loss and be in the playoffs? That's my take on that. Is I think they may. I say they're going to fade. I say they're going to lose at least one more, and either barely get in the playoffs or not make the playoffs. Carson Beck. Let's talk about Carson Beck for a minute. He was at Georgia last year. I thought he was a pretty good quarterback. I didn't think it was anything crazy. Transfers, NIL money, whatever. Heads down to Miami. And he threw 4 picks in that game against Louisville and just did not look good at all. He threw a late interception and was just in shell shock that he threw that and couldn't believe it. So So that's part of it. So we'll see what comes about that. But I think he's a pretty mid quarterback. But I don't know if he got told to move on from Georgia or whatnot. He got hurt late last year, but then they were talking about that in the broadcast a little bit about his elbow. So I'm not sure if he's just having some effects from that from last year or not. So that was Friday night. A few more things, and I'll get off here. I just want to say, if you got any questions, any fan mail, you can send it to the Facebook page or the X page, or shoot me a text, something like that. If you want a question or a comment you want to make on the show, I believe the Facebook is Sport Talk with D-Watt, and then the X is Sport Talk D-Watt. We're on the YouTube, we're on Spotify, so I'm trying to get these videos out, whether it's video, audio, and I just want to thank y'all for watching these. For the first show, it went really well. So like I said, I'm going to try to have 2 a week. If there's a week I can't, then I'll just combine the review and the preview. So this was just a review. We're just going to review this week. I think I hit all my talking points. LSU got beat at Vanderbilt, so that was unique. I'll make my picks. This is where I would make my picks usually and then wrap it up. So I'll save that. I'll give you a little sneak peek of what the picks will be. So this week's show, it will be the Titans at the Colts will be a pick. Tennessee Vols at Kentucky, that'll be a pick. And then I said, we'll throw in Texas A&M at LSU. That's usually a high-scoring game, and LSU just got beat, so I feel like they're going to come out on fire. A&M is a good team. They're ranked, third or something like that. So that'll be a tough pick. But we'll save all that for the preview. But yeah, we're trying right now to keep these about 30 minutes, give or take. So, some weeks I might get a little bit more long-winded. There may have been some more news of the week and whatnot. I want to try to have this same type of setup with weekend recap and what things I did and the news of the week, and then we'll jump on into the different sports that I watched. So it was a busy weekend for sure. It started Friday. I was watching TV, trying to watch 2 screens up in Crossville. Had my phone going, had TV going. So it was a busy weekend, and a lot of them would end at the same time. So that was it's tough to watch them. Tough to watch them all, but it is also nice to sit back on the weekend and enjoy a good race. Enjoy some NFL, some baseball, college football, you name it. Just enjoy it, and that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, is having fun, watching this stuff, and getting into it. So with that, I guess that'll wrap it up. And hey, go Jackets.